Polls have been open for 6 hours now around New York, with lines of people flooding in to make their voices heard. We're covering it all for you during the next 30 minutes. Dan Gross will join us live in a moment from Mount Hope Cemetery. First, though, the stories of you, the people, casting ballots. Ron Spitzer live at a polling site, East High, with our team coverage.
Brennan, we just got those numbers so far from the county, and around 80,000 people at least so far around the county have cast their ballots. Now, the polls opened at 6 a.m. They shut down at 9, but that didn't stop people from waking up bright and early to cast those ballots. Now, this follows a very successful early voting period here in Monroe County. More than 130,000 ballots already in before Election Day. If you follow the recent trends, the county hit around mid 70% for turnout in presidential election years. Early numbers indicate this year's could be closer to 80% across the 215 designated polling sites. They are anticipating about 74 voters per hour at each location. With the White House congressional seats and local offices up for grabs this year, voters have a lot to consider. Here's why some folks say voting is important to them.
Well, actually, walking here, I thought about the whole history of voting. At once upon a time, people that look like us, females of color, were not allowed to have any say, any opportunities. And, here we have it. Let's take advantage of it. And I want to teach her now, let's go ahead and do it. I came from Suriname, South America, originally. And so as a kid, we didn't vote because we didn't have that opportunity. And so now I can, and she has the opportunity. I want to show her, set that role model for her, that you have a voice and you're important.
Now, have they talked to you at all about voting in school? What have you been learning in school lately?
Learning to be kind.
For presidency, I feel it's very important to pick our leader, the one who will represent us around the world and the one who will speak for our rights and include us. It's very important to feel included, and it's beautiful here. There is beautiful diversity in the United States, so we want to be sure we are included.
Again, polls close tonight at 9, and you do have to stand in line by that time. If you're not in line by 9 p.m., you will be turned away. Reporting, Ron Spitzer, News 8.